All right, welcome back to the channel. Today I got something very special. I have one of the most hated men in the industry, also one of the best paid men in the industry. And naturally, in this video, we're going to be talking about why you shouldn't try to be popular or be liked. Instead, you should be trying and aiming for being well paid.
Have you ever wondered whether there's more to life than a boring dead-end 9-to-5 job? Have you ever dreamed about breaking free, traveling the world, making good money, and just enjoying life? No more office dress code, no morning commute, no boss. This channel is for you, so here's to your freedom.
And actually, like I said, best person to talk about that is Andreas Baulig here. Give us a little bit of some knowledge. How did you manage to get so hated, get so rich?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show again.
Yeah.
Short introduction. Who am I? I'm doing business and marketing consulting mostly in Germany. We're also consulting with Max a little on the side, and we basically vaporized like most of our competition within the last 3 years, and that got me the title of probably the most hated online marketer / guru in Germany for the past 12 months at least. And
it's even to a point where they kick you out of their own events because you're closing away their clients.
People are so scared because we had like in 2018, 2019, when we were still allowed on most events, I and my team entered. Sometimes we just had we were just normal guests. Sometimes we had one of those stations, booth, yeah. And most of the time when we enter an event, we make more money than the guys who are running the event themselves. And so we got kicked out of most events in Germany now that are in our industry. And some people, for example, last time they invited us just to kick us out. It was just like a move or something, like a boss move, or to put us in our place. And that's the state of the art that we're in right now. We just launched a book, so if somebody is fluent in German, he can get my book. We can maybe put it downstairs, down
the link. Yeah, and it's also people hate on the book as well because
people hate on the book as well because the book is like pure real talk, like how to make money, not like make it something illustrious and something magical, like cutting out the bull. And then just like, hey, do this, and it will probably make 5 figures a month.
That's the thing too. That's the thing. I feel like most people, they paint the picture of building an online coaching, online business, or in general a business of this elusive, esoteric concept. And you got to do this, and you got to be the patience, and you got to care.
Yeah.
All these are fancy words, and you hear me saying too, start with the client in mind, etc. These are fancy words that unfortunately are thrown around by people who actually have no clue.
Yeah.
Like how do you build a business? Well, you have to, just give value and just be patient. Okay, but what's the first step? Yeah. And that's why so many people they have no clue how to build a business, and then they get stuck for a whole year or two of building a business without ever making money.
I have statistics on this. So the first interesting statistic is that at least for the German-speaking markets, is that above 80% of all businesses that are started will get closed down within the first 3 years, at least. So 80% of people starting out are going to fail. They're going to close their business down. So their advice is, okay, take that away. So that's already 80% are out of the picture. So 20% of entrepreneurs are left. Out of those 20% that survive those 3 years, it's in Germany, for example, of all the businesses there are, only 10% are closing or making more than 1 million euro per year. So until you made $1 million per year, who are you to give advice to anybody about anything? For real, what the It doesn't make any sense. So you got first 80% of all people doing business, you can completely ignore them because they're going to fail anyway. Then you got 20% left, and out of those, you can listen to 10%.
Yeah.
So that boils down to maybe 1 or 2% of people you can actually listen to. And then in these top 10%, the spread is so big because it's 1% is doing over 10 million a year.
Yeah.
So I'm doing 10 million per year now, for example. We reached that in 2019 for the first time. This year is on track already. We're probably not be an issue.
Yeah.
And I have a completely different perspective on everything. So If I write a book and it's like this and this and this and this and this, and it took me 3 years to get to that point, I can still remember every step that was necessary to take. While somebody else that has a business like for 30 years and is now at like 8 figures, of course, he cannot remember how it was. Maybe he remembers, but it doesn't apply anymore.
Not at all, yeah.
So basically what you can take away from this is like you cannot listen to almost anybody. Like nobody has a clue. It's hilarious.
The problem too is that most people, it's so hard to distinguish between someone who actually has built a business and knows it properly and like a fancy influencer type of guy. I mean, you know, we're not going to name specific people, but there's a lot of these Instagram business gurus out there that just look fancy, but there's actually nothing behind that. And you know, that's always what I loved about working together with you guys, because it's clear it actually works, and you're primarily a not so nice person, but you know what you're talking about, compared to the fancy influencer who's all like, I want to help people, but actually doesn't know shit.
I actually think I'm nice by telling people the truth.
Yeah.
So that's like, if they can't handle it, that's not...
You're a nice person in private too, but again, like your image is like, look, I'm not going to be holding hands with you. I'm going to call you out on your own BS. You know, that's a good thing. And I think that's always something that is more honest.
Yeah.
Because it's, again, you're not sweet talking anything. Now, you know, a lot of people that are watching my channel, they're interested in building their own online coaching business, or they're making some money already and they want to scale it. What do you think is the biggest problem that they have in terms of they want to be popular? I always think like, and I see that many times with people that book a free consulting call with us, they actually truly deeply down inside, they just want to be liked. Yeah. And that's why they're building a business. And that actually screws them over in the long run because it keeps them from closing properly. Yeah. So what do you usually tell people that have that mindset?
There was this old saying back in the old ages of internet in 2008 or 10, the old ages, when people were talking about, oh, I got so and so many clicks to my website, and back then it was like hits, like how many people were on your page, and hits actually stands for how idiots track success. So if you're out for like millions of followers, I actually prefer to have millions on the bank account. Yeah, that's way better. Trust me. I for myself, I have like let me look it up. I guess when I checked that in the morning, I had like I guess like 15,500 subscribers on my Instagram. So I'm still doing 12 million.
When we met, you had like 5,000 or something, and you outsold most of the people. You know, so yeah, it's nothing.
It doesn't matter. Like you don't need to be like liked on a broad scale. You just need to be like super famous within a very specific niche. So that if you're the most relevant person for a specific audience, you make way more money. And if you go for mass appeal and everybody has to like you and you want to be like a celebrity or like an influencer, that's most of the time is fool's gold. Of course, if you're like a superstar, like super famous, everybody on the planet knows you, you will make millions from that, obviously. But how likely is that you will become one of those guys? It's way more likely to just focus on getting a product right or an offer right, learn basics of sales, learn first manual customer acquisition, then later online marketing with ads, and you reach like $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 per month.
Easily. And
within a few years.
And the thing is too, people overestimate like what they get paid for, like YouTube clicks and stuff like that. Nothing. People think like, oh, if I have 1 million subs, I get so much paid from clicks. No, you barely get anything anymore. Because I once posted on my Instagram, I'm like, you can't monetize hating, and then someone's like, what about this guy? He has a channel with millions of subscribers and he just hates on people. And I'm like, yeah, broke influencer, that's all he is. You don't get money with clicks a lot.
That's funny too. I have one of the most expensive YouTube channels in Germany, because the CPM for running ads on my channel, because I allow monetization, because I want YouTube to spread my videos organically, but I still have only like 14,000 or something subscribers, but people pay like triple or quadruple of the regular CPM on my channel. So even from only like a few thousand subscribers and a few thousand views in every video, I almost make like $2,000 in dollars per month, because the CPM is so high. So even with like a micro channel that is super relevant and people like to bid on it, I make more money, like I could live in Thailand off my YouTube money right now. I even make more money, I could live off my YouTube money by now, but yeah.
Didn't we just by accident discover that there's a couple thousand lying on our YouTube account of this channel?
For example, like we went through your channel and they were like, oh, you're making this amount. I was like, oh, maybe I'm making money from YouTube too. And then I looked it up and it was like, like $7,000 and they were not outpaying it because there was no bank account connected to it. So I connected it now, and now I'm taking that sweet YouTube money.
We're making like 7 figures off this channel, and you don't notice that. Oh, we have money from the clicks as well. Whatever, buy some more ads with it. And this is exactly what we're saying to our clients as well. Like we have clients. I mean, you can literally watch this channel, the interviews that we have on this channel. We have clients making multiple 5 figures a month. They don't even have a website. They're complete utter nobodies. And the funny thing is, there's nobodies in certain niches, let's say a health niche, right? And these clients of ours make more money than like the famous influencer in the same niche, and they're outselling them.
It's so sad.
And you know, it might be great, and the thing is, like, something that why I like talking about this so much is because I had both. With my first business, the dating advice business, I had a 300,000 subscriber channel. It's smaller now, but at this peak, it was 304,000 subscribers. And you know, you walk down the street, you get recognized, people taking pictures with you, and I had that, and it's nice. I always appreciated when somebody recognized me, but at the same time, I made a literal fraction of the money that I'm making now with this relatively small niche channel. In fact, this channel outsold the bigger channel at I think 5,000 or 8,000 subscribers. We were already making more money than the big 300,000. So yeah, now that I'm in this niche, I'm not as known. People don't ask me for pictures as much anymore. But at the same time, I get to afford nicer things. You know, I can buy my mom and my dad like a vacation and buy them nice cars. I paid my dad a pilot's license now. He wants to become a pilot. So I paid that for 10K, whatever, you know, here, go fly. I'll join him. But again, like, I like that better than being paid with like likes and pictures taken. So yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to mention to if someone wants to start a business? What should they be focusing on?
Focus on mastering sales. Like, that's the only thing that really matters in the end. Mastering the one-on-one conversation and learn how to close people. And then the next step would be how to transform that to stuff on the internet, like videos, scripts, pages. It's like selling in text, like copywriting is the next big thing. If you get those two things down, it barely matters what you do, because you will make money with it. And that's everything that really matters in the end, because you only earn money when you sell something. It's as easy as that. If you try to go down that route where you become famous first,
I wish a lot of time and energy, that's all. You wish good luck, you're spending a lot of time and energy, and then most of the time, people that follow you are whack and broke. So you have 1 million followers that are all broke, they will never buy. How many, didn't we talk about this earlier, how many influencers are now trying to sell stuff? Nobody buys because their target audience is full of whack freeloaders. And this is something that, you know, that your business has and that we've built with your help as well. The fans are our clients. So maybe we don't have raging fans that are watching our free stuff, but our clients become our raging fans. And that's good for us because they pay, and it's good for them because they actually get results. They're not raging fans because we're cool and they like our YouTube stuff. No, they're fans of us because we make them money, right? And the way we make the money is exactly like you said. We focus on sales. We help them master the one-on-one conversation so they can literally reach out to a person on Facebook, in a Facebook group, on a forum that is in their niche that they can help. They get them on a call. They easily make their first 4 to 5 figures. Sometimes it takes them a couple of weeks. Sometimes it takes them a little longer than a couple of weeks. It takes, like, usually on average between 8 and 12 weeks. That's where like the golden range is, where most of our clients start making their first money. Some take a little longer than that, but it works, right? And then that person goes ahead and makes money, and then we can come in and say, let's build a niche brand around that. But at least by the time they have a little bit of a brand, they're already outselling most people with a big brand. That's also
the only way that consistently works, because if you don't go down that route, you start creating a following, and you get a following maybe that you don't even want, and then it's out of control. Because if you actually know what sells, what is interesting to your buying audience, that's important, your buying audience, you start promoting content that sells. So you only get people that want to buy. And maybe it's a smaller audience, but it's a much more valuable audience, of course. And you develop content that supports your offer, and you're not in this weird situation where you have a following and now you have to think about what to sell to them, and then you will be doing anything just for money. That's super weird, because it's like, if you got these big influencers, they're like, okay, I have my following, what can I sell to them? And that's the worst way to do it, because first it would be like, okay, which problem could I solve? How do I solve it? And then, okay, how do I find people that need that? It's way more scalable, because for us, for example, we have per month almost 5 million impressions with content from me through ads on Facebook alone. So if I spend like a 6-figure amount now on Facebook ads, I get millions of impressions. Like, people in my niche see me like 40, 80 times or so a month, and people on the outer spheres of my marketing ecosphere get to know me over time, and that's way better than building a channel. I would never be able to build a channel that get like 5 million impressions per month within like the next 10 years probably, with business content. It's not possible, I guess. And if you go down that route, it's way better, and it scales.
Exactly. That being said, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Yeah. To summarize, focus on money making first. We always say money is the oxygen of your business, and building a brand is fixing your hair. Okay, so imagine you're underwater, you have your head underwater, you can't breathe. What do you want to do? Do you want to breathe, get that oxygen in, or do you want to fix your hair to make sure you're cool? Well, first get breathing in, right? First make that money, and then you can build a brand upon that.
Right.
And if you say that sounds great, Max, can you and your team help me? The answer is yes. You can book a free consulting call either with me directly or an expert from our team. There's a link down in the description for you to book that call. The way that works is you click on that link, it brings you to a page. I want you to read through that page because it's very important information. And at the bottom of that page, you can fill out the application. It takes you 2 minutes to fill it out, and then you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. The call is entirely for free, no international costs whatsoever. It is for people who are already making some money, but you want to make more money, you want to do it more consistently, that call is for you. If you have a skill, you want to learn how to monetize it, you'd be surprised how many skills can actually be monetizable if you do it right. And that call is for you as well. But also, if you just like the idea of being free as an online coach, being your own boss, but you have no clue what it is that you could be offering people, give us a call. Nonetheless, we can analyze your strengths, we know the market, we can tell you what exact model fits the best for you. We have limited spots for that, so if the link still works, it means we still have a spot open for you. So maybe talk to you very, very soon. Thank you very much, and thank you for your busy time to be here on this wonderful.
It was a pleasure.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Maybe talk to you soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I just made my first sale ever in this freaking amazing program. I'm so thankful to Max and Nikita. All of you coaches has helped me do this. I'm halfway through my week 5, and I already made my first fucking sale.